everyone. I'm going to be making a card for you guys today. It's going to be a fall-inspired card. The card is actually inspired by an embossing powder, believe it or not. I went to Michael's over the weekend and picked up this really great embossing powder. It's by Stampendous. It's their Pearl Luster line, and the color is Carnelian. It's just a gorgeous orange. And when it's embossed, it kind of loses some of that brightness, but has such a nice pearlescent look to it. I love it. So I thought I'd make a fall card for you guys today. Really simple, one piece of pattern paper here. And then we're going to be using some stamps to kind of create a layered effect. Just going to be stamping a background, doing some other stamps, and then eventually stamping this really cute pumpkin stamp, doing some coloring and paper piecing. So the first thing I want to do is create my background. To do that, I really need to figure out where this piece of paper is going, because it's the only paper element, the only pattern paper element on this card. In order to stamp my background, though, I'm going to need to know where this paper is going. So to do that, I'm going to just draw some guidelines in pencil. The first line is going to be at 1.5 inches, and the second one 2 inches down from that, because this piece of paper is 2 by 4.25. So 1 and 2. Draw the line. We're good to go. Now I know where to put my stamps for my background, and also where to put. I'm going to put a scallop stamp, and the lines are most important for that, so that the scallop is above and below where the pattern paper is going to go. So first I want to stamp this really cute leaf. It's going to be a background stamp. I'm going to use some distress ink in antique linen and just do a couple images of this leaf to create a really nice, light, kind of watermark background look. Alright, and then I'm just going to heat set this with my heat tool. Now, I'm also going to let it sit while we do some other elements for the card, so that I know that it's really dry, because when I stamp this scallop and Versamark, I want that to be the only thing that the embossing powder sticks to. So I'm going to set this aside, and we'll do some other embossing. I really love this pumpkin stamp. It's by an Ink and Dinkadoo stamp set. I actually don't know the name because I threw away the packaging, but it's really cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two embossing powders to do both the pumpkin and then the green vines, and then I'm going to do some coloring in with a blender pen. So first I need to stamp these images. You'll see I have some craft paper as well as some white paper, and I'm going to do the whole image. Oops. I'm going to use my anti-static bag first. I'm going to do the whole image on the craft paper and then just the pumpkin on the white paper. This is because I want the image to really match with the card, which is a craft base, but I want the pumpkin to have a really nice bright orange look when it's colored in, and you really can't see it too well on craft paper. So I'm going to stamp just the pumpkin on the white paper so that it colors really nicely. Nice. Alright. And then just the pumpkin this time, because we don't need the whole thing. Yoink. Alright. That takes care of that. So again, what I'm going to do is emboss them separately. So this whole image I'm going to do in this green, which is also the Pearl Luster. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. Look at that. Get the pumpkin out. Nice. Again, a nice, really crisp image. Now what I'm going to do is some coloring with a blender pen in the pumpkin and then in the flowers here. I'm going to use some Distress ink in Spiced Pumpkin for this, and I'm just going to get some of the ink on my acrylic block here. bring up some of that ink into the blender pen, and then it's just like coloring. Now I know a lot of people are using Copic markers these days, and you can get a really nice gradient effect with the Copic markers, but I just haven't jumped on that train yet. You know, they're expensive markers, I'm sure with good reason, but I can get most of the effects that I'm looking for with a blender pen and an ink pad. So the pumpkin I'm going to cut super close to the embossing line, so that way you really only see the colored pumpkin. There isn't a white border, but when I cut out the rest of it, I will leave a border because it looks a little cleaner that way. Okay, that's all set. Now I will add the pumpkin with some dimensional adhesive. Okay, how cute is that? Oh my gosh. Alright. So this is going to be the main element of the card. Alright, so now it's going to be time to stamp our scallop border. The ink should be dry. See, it has a really nice watermark look to it, and it'll really look like a nice background image, especially when we get pumpkin on. So cute. Get my birthmark. I'm going to line it up with the pencil mark as best as possible. And stamp. Down. Nice. I'm looking at my embossing powder again. Look at that, so clean. And if your embossing powder sticks to any of the images that you already stamped, you can just kind of wipe it off before you heat set it. Hopefully it's dried long enough that it shouldn't stick to too many things, especially since we used the heat set ahead of time. Alright, so the border has been completed. Nice and heat set, really nice and shimmery, shiny, beautiful. I'm going to erase my lines, or as much of my lines as I can. Now it is time to assemble our card. Simple, simple. So, just using some regular tape runner, which I just broke. Alright, using some regular tape runner adhesive. Line this up. Check and see if I need to trim. I do. Okay. And then this little guy is going to go right here, and I'm going to pop him up again. So get out my dimensional adhesive. Put this guy down. So cute, oh my goodness. How cute is that? I'm just going to round the corners. Alright, and that's the card for today. Really cute, really simple, no sentiment, so it could really say anything that you want. Could be for either Halloween or Thanksgiving, or just a simple note card for the fall. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.